1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 2. Those who have believing masters, let them not despise them because they are brethren, but rather serve them, because those who are benefited are believers and beloved. So in growing communities like ours, where our lives overlap and intersect, this usually includes our work overlapping and intersecting. This is how it should be, right? In Christendom, as Christ's new life renews every square inch of our world, this results in Christian mechanics, Christian doctors, Christian teachers, Christian engineers, Christian lawyers, Christian electricians, Christian home builders, and so on, which means as God answers our prayers and as His kingdom comes, we should increasingly expect to do more and more of our business with one another, right? With brothers. Brothers here in this church and business with brothers in other faithful churches. So this is very good, and again, it is an answer to our prayers, which we pray every week and during the week that God's kingdom would come. But it also can provide for further complications and tangles which require of us sober-mindedness and brotherly affection. In particular, this morning, I want to highlight and encourage us to guard against a tendency that we all have programmed into us from even a young age. This tendency is discount hunting. Right? Deal grabbing, our lust for freebies. It's one thing to jump on a Costco sale, cut coupons for the grocery store, find a great deal at the thrift store. That's one thing, and it's innocent enough, and I am guilty of it. But when this tendency bleeds into our business with brothers, it becomes a real issue. In short, Christians should not try to take advantage of one another. Right? We should not look for the so-called brother's discount, right? A Christian markdown in our business with one another. Instead, you should go into every business relationship with a brother looking to give something additional, right? Rather than trying to get something additional. Trying to get something more, get something cheaper, get something free from a fellow Christian simply because he is your brother in the faith, that is the wrong mentality, right? We should seek to bring blessing, not grab blessing. We should seek to profit our brother, not take advantage of him. When Paul wrote in 1 Timothy 6, the verse I read a moment ago, about the economic relationships between Christians, at that time between masters and slaves, he instructed brothers with this kind of business dealing in mind. Right? Christian brothers were to treat their fellow Christians all the better because, as Paul writes, those who are benefited are believers and beloved. Right? That is the mentality that we ought to have in our business with one another. Right? No matter which side of the transaction we are on. Right? Whether we're the one buying or selling, or the one employing or the one who is employed. So practically speaking, this means three things. First of all, seek to bless. Right? Seek to bless. If you are the one receiving and paying for a service, you should seek to give something additional. Right? Pay a fair price and then some. Or on the other hand, if you are the one providing a service, you should seek to do your very best, right? Be more on top of it, be more timely, more excellent in your work, right? This is the opposite of that selfish, lazy mindset that seeks to either get a service at a discount or, on the other hand, that cuts corners in your work, right? Paul says elsewhere that we should seek to do good to all men, and especially, right, and especially to those who are in the household of the faith. Secondly, remember that being a member of the same church or of the broader church does not mean that you get free access to your brother's expertise. When you ask questions of a brother in business, you should do so in order to see if his expertise is needed. Right? Don't attempt to get a brother's service without paying for them. And don't send your wife to go do that in your stead. Right? Honey, see what you can get out of him. Don't impose on your brother in this way, but instead expect a bill as soon as you start actually using his expertise. Don't go up to a medical doctor, right, asking him to diagnose the swelling on your neck, right, after service. Don't invite a brother to dinner who happens to be a car mechanic, only to have him look at your car after dessert, right? Don't do that. Remember the golden rule. What would it look like for someone to take advantage of you in your profession, and then don't do that to your brother in their profession? Finally, remember that in doing business with one another, it is not your responsibility to make sure that your brother is dealing with you in this way. Right? That's not your job. You're responsible for you and for yourself and your own behavior and for observing this rule and treating your brother in this way, not making sure that he's treating you in this way. Now, with all that said, I want to reiterate that it is a good, right, and also an inevitable thing for us all to be doing business with one another and with fellow Christians in the community as Christ answers our prayer and his kingdom comes. So let us get good at it now so that we might enjoy the righteousness, peace, and joy of God's heavenly kingdom.